So, in our last class, we were discussing something. Let's just continue that discussion. Okay, one more thing I want to tell here before starting class. Let me just read this line again. Loving service to the Supreme Lord in different relationships makes even the enjoyment of impersonal, it's not Brahma, it's Brahma, means uh, Brahma Jyoti. So I did this mistake yesterday. Then I was also confused that impersonal Brahma. What does that mean? Impersonal Brahma. But it's impersonal Brahma. Impersonal Brahmand. Something like this. I read this in Hindi book. So there Srila Prabhupada ji was telling this, that the enjoyment of Nirvisheshvad also become insignificant. So one should know this thing. You might have heard about this thing also, that Shishupal, he also got delivered from material world, but instead of going back to Godhead, he merged in the transcendental light of the Lord's body, transcendental body of Krishna. So he emerged in that light. So this is what Prabhupada ji is telling here, that loving relationship with Lord Krishna, loving relationship with our Supreme Personality is this much amazing that it makes the enjoyment of impersonal uh, light or something as insignificant as a drop of water in comparison to the ocean. So yeah, it was this. Let's move ahead now. Every living being desires the topmost level of enjoyment. We discussed this thing yesterday. I'm just reading it again. Yet everyone a level of enjoyment in this material world, and yet everyone is unhappy here. This unhappiness is present on all the higher planets, despite a longer lifespan, higher standards of enjoyment and comfort. This is due to the law of material nature. What is the reason? What is the meaning of this line? That it is due to the law of material nature, that everything is for a specific period of time. It is temporary only. This is the law of material nature, that everything is temporary here. We can increase the duration of life and standard to the highest capacity, and yet by the law of material nature we will be unhappy. Why? Because it will go away from us in a specific period of time, because it is temporary. But you will see, we always want everything for always. We don't want that it may be with us for a short period of time only. That's why you will see, even for job, people apply for government job, because they want long term benefits from it. The reason for this is that the quality of happiness which is suitable for our constitution is different from the happiness which is derived from from material activities. So are you getting this point? Why are we desiring for eternal things? Because we are also eternal. But because this material nature is, the law of material nature is that everything is temporary here. So this is not suitable for us. The living entity is a minute particle of superior spiritual energy of the Lord, which is 𝗃𝗍𝗏𝗻 Vigraha. We discussed this also yesterday. And therefore, he has the necessary propensity for joy necessary propensity for joy, which is spiritual in quality. Unfortunately for him, he is trying vainly to attain his enjoyment from the foreign atmosphere of material nature. We discussed this uh, very nicely. Okay, moving forward now. A fish that is taken out of the water cannot be happy by any arrangement on land. Yes, if you will take out fish out of the water, if you will take out fish from the water, and even if you put that fish on very fancy floor, very nice tiles, very fancy tiles, but then also that fish will not be happy. What to say of land if even you will put that fish in any other liquid, any grape juice or any vegetable juice, then also she will not be happy. She will be frustrated. He must be supplied with water. He means that fish. In the same way, the minute Satchidanand living entity cannot be really happy through any amount of planning conceived by his illusion brain in this material universe. So, just like happiness of fish is in that water, she can only remain happy when she is in the water. So, same way, we can also be happy when we will get something eternal. And what is that? Service of Lord. And this is true. Instead of doing that, if we will, if we will get entangled in doing material things, which is for specific period of time, then we will not be really happy. We will, living entity cannot be really happy through any amount of planning conceived by his illusion brain in this material universe. So Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his constitutional Krishna is Satchidanand Vigraha, and our constitutional state is also same. Why? Because we are fragmental part of Lord. He must therefore be given a different type of happiness which is spiritual in essence. Spiritual in essence means which is there for always. When Mataji got confused, she hear recordings and then she share her learnings with me. So she got confused. In her learnings, she wrote that the the sorrows, the miseries, the sufferings which living beings suffer in this material world. But in spiritual worlds, those suffering and miseries are very less. But this is not true. There is not even a tinge of any suffering or miseries in spiritual world. There is not even M of misery or S of suffering S of suffering in the spiritual world. Means no sorrows at all. Only happiness, only blissfulness in spiritual world. And you know what's the difficulty? That we have become so much habitual of all these sufferings, of all the troubles and problems. And that's why we can't even imagine, even a one day, that no any trouble is coming in our life. We can't imagine that life where there is no suffering or troubles. Because we have become habitual of all the troubles and all. So this is also difficulty. Because we have been suffering from eternal time. So we have become habitual of that. But this is not true. There is no any suffering or any kind of miseries or troubles in spiritual world. So just see, my dear devotees, what are you doing? Just think about this. You are following that great thing which will end any kind of troubles or problems from your life for always. No one needs problems, is it not? Who work for getting any kind of troubles of problems, but then also they come and we always want to get relief from them. So the only way to get relief from these troubles and miseries for always is to go back to Godhead. Okay, one more thing. When I'm saying go back to Godhead, then what will we do after going there? We will serve Krishna. So we are already, it is a kind of training which we are getting. All the devotional services which we are doing here, we will be doing same things in spiritual world also. Difference will be that in spiritual world, we will be serving food to Krishna. We can, uh, you know, give the bite of food directly in the mouth of Krishna. We can serve the lotus feet of Krishna physically there. Just imagine this, all these things. Even all these things, just by imagining, just by thinking also, we feel so much, what to say, you're understanding. So just see, we are already getting training to do all those things which we will be doing in spiritual world. He must therefore be given a different type of happiness which is spiritual in essence. Our ambition should be aimed at enjoying spiritual bliss and not this temporary cheap happiness which is for a specific period of time. Our ambition should be high, high goals, that we want to experience, we want to enjoy spiritual bliss. Bliss for eternal time and not this temporary happiness. And this desire will only come when you will hear about it. Otherwise, people are not even aware about these things, that there is any world also where there are no miseries and no problems. People are not even aware about this thing. So by hearing scriptures, we get all these things. We get to know all these things. Some philosophers claim that spiritual bliss is attained by negating material happiness and material existence. Now, what does that mean? If you will make yourself, like if you will not do any kind of sense gratification and you will just lock yourself in any room and you will not do anything, you can say you are torturing. If you will torture yourself, then you can get spiritual bliss. But this is not true. And you won't believe, there is a kind of meditation also like this, Vipassana meditation. Many people practice this. Prabhuji was telling me, not me, in class, Prabhuji was telling this once, that in this meditation, people just lock themselves in a room and they will not speak anything. They will remain speechless. They will not speak anything. They will practice maun for weeks or maybe months. And they will just lock themselves in a room and they will not consume anything. Very, very little food they will consume. It's like that. How torturing is that? And they will not get anything in return. Only these tortures only. And they will really not get anything by doing these things. But you see devotees here, we speak so much. Prabhupada ji says, you just speak so much about Krishna. You say Krishna Katha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself tells this, that you jare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh. You speak, you speak. Don't be a snake. Just speak. Speak about Krishna, not the material things. And you consume nice Krishna Prasadam. And you don't lock yourself. You take association of devotees. And that's why you will see in Krishna consciousness, every day become festival. What we do in festival? We meet with friends, which we meet every day with our loving devotee friends. We consume feast. We consume feast daily only. We offer food to Krishna, nice, lavish food to Krishna, and then we relish prasadam. And what other things? In festivals, we dance or we hear songs. So instead of that, we are hearing kirtan. We do evening kirtan with devotees. How amazing is that? And now suppose I tell you to do vipassana meditation, you just lock yourself, you eat very less, and you don't talk with anyone. It will be very torturous. Prabhuji was telling this thing also, that once Prabhuji's mother, she tried to observe this Maun fast, and she was not able to do it for long. It is very difficult. How can one be, speechless? When Mataji was there, so she used to chant 16 rounds. She's still chanting some rounds. So she went somewhere, you know, any foundation. At any foundation she went. So they also told to observe this Maun. So I was making her understand this point only, that we have been blessed with this tongue to speak glories of Krishna, to chant holy names of Krishna. Suppose if we were in a body of any dog or cat, that we might not be chanting the glories or the names of Lord Krishna. We might be we might be making any kind of noise, but we might not be chanting names of Krishna, is it not? And you will see there are some human beings also, they can't speak. Even after getting human life, they are speechless. So see the helplessness of those people. Even after getting human life, they can't speak the holy names of Lord. So we should not do all these things, observing Maun Vrat and all. Why not to chant more? If you really want to do fast, you just chant more. Don't fast, you chant more names of Lord. You speak, you listen, you hear, or you say more Krishna Katha. That is really nice thing. So this is all foolishness, that you just neglect all the material happiness and material existence. Theoretical negation of material activities as propounded by 𝗃𝗵𝗵 Shankaracharya may be effective for an insignificant section of mankind. But the best and surest way for everyone to attain spiritual bliss was propounded by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by means of devotional activities. Okay, so let me tell you one more thing here. Shripad Shankaracharya, he told that if you want to progress in your spiritual life, then you will have to take sannyas. You will have to leave your family members and you have to live alone and all those detachment and all. But one should understand this thing, that even you heard this thing, that we should be detached from all the things, from all the material existence, but it cannot happen theoretically. And you will yourself observe, as you are practicing, as you are doing your devotional services nicely, you are already so much detached from so many things. So, if I talk about myself, I was so much fond of shopping. Today this dress, today that dress, today this, that. Like my whole room was filled with so much of clothes. But then also I was wanting more. So see, material desires are like this only. Whatever you will take, if you will desire to take something, if you will desire to grab something, that desire will increase more. Just like fire. It's like putting oil, kerosene oil in fire, in the fire. So the more you serve your material desires, it will come out more. It will increase more. So now, if I was doing all these things that time, and someone, suppose he tell me that you should, okay, he may give me all the knowledge that you should do something for your self realization, and for that you should get detached from all these things. So was that possible for me that time, that I got immediately detached from all these things? So Prabhupada ji is telling this thing here, that theoretically these things is not, these things will not work theoretically. And you can easily do this just by connecting everything with Krishna. Just by chanting holy names of Krishna, just by whatever devotional services you are practicing, just by doing all those activities you may do, you will automatically get detached from everything gradually. So suppose, if just like Sripad Shankaracharya ji is telling here, that you should take sannyas and all for your self realization, if someone may told this to us, it will be very much difficult for us, is it not? Oh, I can't leave my family, or this or that. But see the mercy of Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he made this so easy for you. You just chant Hare Krishna and you will get delivered. So day by day, as we are chanting holy names of Lord, as we are serving Lord Krishna, we are getting liberated day by day. Now, what does that mean? That we are getting one step closer with every name we are chanting, with every service we are doing of Lord. We are getting one step closer to Lord every single day. You are not the same person as you were yesterday or as you were in morning. So see the potency of this process. These devotional activities can change the very face of material nature. Hankering after material happiness is called lust, and lusty activities are sure to meet with frustration in the long run. Means sense gratification, desire of sense gratification. Material happiness means desire for sense gratification. Lust means desire, which we call kaam in Hindi. So that will frustrate us more and more. Just like I gave example of those clothes shopping, it's not like I was getting any I was experiencing any blissfulness by getting all those clothes. I was getting frustrated. Why? Because I was desiring to get more, that I need more clothes. I was competing with other people. I want to do that, this. So it was frustrating me more. But now you see, as you're serving Lord, we take association of devotees, but it's not like we are frustrating. We are not competing with any devotee. Instead, we get inspired from them, from their devotional services. That, oh, may Lord bless me, that I may also do like this. Just like Prabhuji told that there is one devotee who chants 128 rounds every single day. He do very simple service in temple. He distribute flowers to devotees, give flowers to devotees, and he chant 128 rounds every single day. So I was also desiring, oh, may Lord bless me that I may also get chance to chant 128 rounds at least once in life. So see, we get inspired. It's not like we got frustrated or we had any envy for that devotee. Oh, how can he chant this much round? I will do something so that he may not be able to chant 128 rounds every single day. No, it's not like that. So material happiness means hankering for sense gratification, and which will an end result of that will be frustration. The body of a snake is very cool. Okay, we will discuss this example in our next class if Krishna is willing. We'll stop here now. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.